This morning I'm spending time in scriptures like I always do, and I noticed something big as day, that the warning of Yesaiah, you call him Isaiah. Yesaiah, from the first 3 chapters, the first thing it does is it starts warning us about a very movement that we have going on today, which is feminism. It talks about how haughty the daughters of Zion are. It talks about how they walk forth with mincing and necks. And I mean, let me just give you a little bit so you can get a little taste of it. All right, let's go to the 3rd chapter right here. It even talks about declaring their sin as Sodom. Do we not have all this going on today? Basically, Isaiah 1 through 3 is talking about the modern feminist movement. All right, the modern feminist movement. And look at this. It says, "Moreover, the Lord, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, and walking and mention as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore the Lord will smite with the scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. And in that day the Lord will take away," look what he's going to do. What he's going to do? He's going to take away their bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet and their calls and their round tires and their moons, their chains, their bracelets and their mufflets, the bonnets, the ornaments, the legs of the legs, the headbands and the tablets and the earrings, the rings and the nose jewels. See, you can't make this stuff up. The more you read it, the more you see what's going on right before our very eyes. Now, people are going to ignore it. They're going to spin it, and they're going to act like, no. But it's there. It's there in black and white. It's telling you the conditions of a fallen society and what happens whenever a fallen society is taking place. It declares the sin of Sodom, and you got all these proud women who bob off their heads, meaning, mostly women in the world cut their head, but women who are separated and set apart and want to please the Most High God, they usually let their hair grow long because of what the book says. And that's just a telltale sign who's who. But as you continue to keep going on, look what else it says. It says, the rings, the nose jewels, the changeable apparel, the changeable suits of apparel, the mantle, the windscreen, the crispy pins, the glass and the fine linen, the hoods and the veils. And it shall come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, there shall be a stink, and instead of a girdle, look at this, rent. And instead of well-set hair, baldness. And just in the black community alone, look at all this fake hair that these people put in there. You know the reason why? Because they first of all, the system is against it. Because they put all these chemicals in their hair, they singe their head half to death, and then they barely got a little couple of strands of hair to hold on to, and they end up putting weaves in their hair, and they damage their hair more and more and more. Why? Because they keep cutting it off. When the Bible teaches you women should let your hair grow long. Oh, I know you think you're fighting against me. I get it. Believe me, I get it. Got it. Understand it. But nevertheless, it doesn't change the fact that all this, look what it says, instead of well-set hair, baldness, and instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth and burning instead of beauty. And our men shall fall by the edge of the sword, and the mighty men of war, and her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. Is that not just a literal spitting image of what's going on today? We have loud, lewd women that spend more time in beauty shops trying to get themselves ready, and the more they try to beautify themselves, the more stinky they become. They're bald-headed. We have the sin of Sodom is all over the place on us. It's all in this country. It's all over this place. And the men of war, look at this. And thy men shall fall by the edge of the sword. Our troops not dying all over the world? Then listen what Isaiah says in the 4th chapter, the 1st verse, what is the Most High solution to all of this. Watch this. Ready? And in that day, 7 women, can you say 7 women, 7 females, shall take a hold of one man. It's talking about polygyny. One man. Saying, we will eat our own bread, wear our own apparel, only let us be called by thy name to take away thy reproach. In other words, these are women who say, we're going to take care of ourselves, but we need you to produce seed. And when you look at the movement of MGTOW and all these other places and stuff that, hey, I'm telling you, this world is literally being turned upside down. And then I looked at this freak of a nature last night. I looked at this thing called, I'm just going to say Jenner. It looked like a half woman but it talk like a man. If I see something like that, man, woo-wee, I take off running. I take off running because that's a spirit. That is a spirit. But see, this is the world we find ourselves in. I remember in the mid-90s, I said, you know, I can't see this thing. I can't see that we're close to the coming of Christ. I read what's in the book. I see clearly what the prophecies say. But you know, now I'm here in 2017. I can say this. I can see it now. I can see the coming of Christ. I really truly can. I can see the Mashiach, the Messiah. I can see him really truly on his way getting ready to come, because as fast as the moral decay of this country, as spiritually bankrupt as we are in this country, and the literal decline that is going on, man, he got to be coming. He got to be coming, because the same conditions was in Sodom and Gomorrah. Yeshua, Jesus, told us the same thing about that in the Gospels. The prophets are declaring it to us even right now. The Torah said it's a forbidden lifestyle. And look what the United States of America said. They said this to the creator of the universe. That's what they said to create the universe. And why? Because on the dollar bill that says, "In God we trust," it's that greenback. It's the might, the Roman might of the military power of America. I'm telling you, it's all coming down. Listen, Egypt was one of the greatest dynasties and empires that there's ever been. We ain't nowhere near it. All empires, Assyrian, Babylonian, Greek, Persian, Roman, Ottoman Empire, the British Empire, American Empire, they all come and they all go. We've had our run, and now we're setting up to be destroyed. And that's the truth. And that's the truth straight way. You better get yourself ready. Get ready.